framed underneath the snowy caps of the Chugach Mountains and Pioneer Peak in Palmer, Alaska, it's opening day for the Mat-Su Miners.
It's a day of firsts for the Mat-Su Miners.
It's deja vu all over again from Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska.
The Miners begin the official second half of the season.
Let's get ready for some midweek mayhem in the Mat-Su Valley.
It is good to be back in Palmer, Alaska.
Can it get any better than that for Mat-Su? The rally outside of the valley makes it an 8-5 game.
And the Miners have a wire-to-wire win here at Herman Brothers.
Vergara on his horse looking over his shoulder in right center. He
Dives! Yes, he did! Here comes Vest. He rounds third base. The throw home, not in time. Cooper Vest scores the go-ahead run.
Sneaks behind Maltby. He can't find it. Run comes home. Tomerlin steals home.
A two-run shot for Steven Lancia. Welcome back to Palmer, Alaska.
And that ball is gone! Emilio Barreras, if you didn't know him, now you do!
The comeback kids stun the Glacier Pilots.
Mat-Su, from the bottom of the valley, is atop the mountain.
Another day and another trip back to Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. That's Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach, and for the final time this regular season, the Mat-Su Miners play the Anchorage Bucs. Mat-Su won yesterday's contest 9-0. It was a real thumping out there, and it was a great pitching performance out of everybody involved, including starter Cannon Daly. 6 strong innings. But as we look ahead to today's matchup, Jesse, the Miners have a chance to clinch home field advantage for at least the first round and a season series win against the Bucs. So safe to say today's game is very important.
One could say that. I mean, Mat-Su still has 2 additional games against the Glacier Pilots, which could also flip-flop the standings, because Mat-Su is a game ahead of the Glacier Pilots, a game and a half ahead of the Bucs. There's still, it doesn't feel that way, but it is still a lot of baseball to be played. But this is very important because you'd rather have the assurance than a chance.
Absolutely, and one guy who has certainly given Mat-Su a chance this season time and time again, Ethan Like. The reliever turned starter because of necessity takes the hill tonight. The last 4 outings for him have all been against the Chugach Eagle River Chinooks. Today, he's got a chance to go up against the Bucs.
Yeah, it'll be his 3rd start of the season, and his last one was a spectacle. It was the first leg of a doubleheader at Chugach, and he threw a complete game. The first complete game for any Mat-Su pitcher. Even though it was only 7 innings, it was the entirety of that first leg of the doubleheader. And he pitched well. He only gave up a pair of runs. At one point this season, Like, coming out of the bullpen and starting, had a streak of 18 1/3 scoreless innings.
Really, really good stuff out of Ethan Like. And another lefty who's been producing for the batting order, actually, is Nolan Tucker. You spoke to him yesterday. He's been accustomed to the middle of the order now with Cooper Vest leading off. Tucker yesterday, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 hits. He was electric. He's really found a home in that middle of the order.
That's right. He struggled in the leadoff spot at the beginning of this month, going 5 for 32 at that range. But since then, since he's moved back, he's been really good. He had 2 RBIs yesterday, including an extra base hit for a triple. Also, it was really fun getting to know him. He's a funny guy. I'm really liking those Valley chats. I'm excited to see the Drew Christo one.
Oh, yeah, Jesse, tremendous segue out of you, because here you are. You talked to Drew Christo earlier today back at Herman Brothers Field. It was a great sit-down interview, and folks, here's a...
keeping the spirits high, keeping the energy going from the dugout. We have so much talent on this team. That's not going to be what ends our season early. As long as we keep the energy up in the dugout and keep the vibes up in the dugout and really want to go win this thing, I think it's just going to be up to us to decide to go do that.
Well, Drew, thanks for joining us on Valley Chats. That's one of the Miners' aces, right-hander out of Nebraska, Drew Christo. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks, Jesse.
I'm Jesse Cook. This has been episode 3 of Valley Chats.
That was great stuff, as always, Jesse, for episode 3 of Valley Chats. You and Christo had a great conversation. That'll be up on the Facebook, YouTube, everything tomorrow morning. But, Jesse, before we tune in for this game at 6 p.m., let's go back and revisit yesterday's contest back here at Mulcahy Stadium in Mat-Su's 9-0 victory.
Framed underneath the snowy caps of the Chugach Mountains and Pioneer Peak in Palmer, Alaska, the Mat-Su Miners begin their final road stretch of the regular season with 4 games in Anchorage. Up against the Bucs for the first 2, the first place Miners set a half game above those gold and black. The Mat-Su pitching staff has its work cut out for it. Camden Daly, the starter for the Miners, going up against the team with the most RBIs in the ABL. But his offense has backed him up lately. Maddox Haley part of that. He's got hits in 4 straight games, and he hit a home run yesterday. These are the 2 most powerful teams in the ABL when it comes to dingers. 14 apiece for the Miners and the Bucs, going at it in a high-powered offensive showdown in the heat. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Welcome into Mulcahy Stadium. Here's the 0-2 again. Fastball at the belt for strike 3. His 3rd strikeout, 2nd in a row. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Daly is making a strong case to be that clutch pitcher for Mat-Su as he's down 4 batters through the first 2 1/3 innings. No one on this Bucs roster has reached base.
Wells is 1-2, breaking ball, swung on, flared down the left field line, diving play can't be made. Pendergrast sees the ball go past him into the corner. Watson waves around the hobbling Maddox Haley, the throw to third base, not in time. Tucker has an RBI triple, and Mat-Su has the first run of the game. It's 1-0. 1-0 Mat-Su in the top of the 6th. The 1-0 to Hannes is scored to third base past the diving attempt by Sorensen. Tucker scores from third, and Caleb Hannes has his 6th RBI in the last 5 games. It's 2-0 Mat-Su. Bucs have stranded 2 runners in each of the last 2 frames. They trail Mat-Su 2-0. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Daly K's Turgeon for the 3rd time today and screams in euphoria as he walks off the mound. Through 6 full innings, it's Mat-Su 2, Anchorage 0. We'll be back for the 7th in just a few minutes.
That brings up Mat-Su catcher Steven Lancia. He struggled today 0 for 3, but he also started out with an 0 for 3 line yesterday before clobbering a double. The righty out of UT Rio Grande Valley has a closed stance in the middle of the right box. First pitch, he swings, rips it deep to left center field, tailing back towards the warning track, up against the wall. It 1-hops the fence. Bergara around third, he's coming home. Lancia cruises into second. The throw to the infield stops at shortstop. Steven Lancia has a first pitch RBI double. Lefty-lefty matchup. Blakey comes set, glove at the belt buckle, kicks and fires. Tucker swings, rips it up the middle and through to center field. Lancia around third, he's being waved home. Relay to the plate, won't get there. Lancia scores without a throw. Cut off by the first baseman. Nolan Tucker has his 2nd RBI, and it's 4-0 Miners here in the top of the 7th. 0-2 count for Vest after the foul ball. The 0-2. Swinging a drive down the right field line. That's fair on the ground, tailing towards the fence. 1 run scores. Tomerlin races home. Hannah's around third. Relay home to the plate. Not in time. 8-0. Mat-Su leads. Cooper Vest doubles home a pair. 1-1 count. Swinging a rip up the middle through to center field on the ground. It pops off the barrier between the outfield grass and the infield turf. Vest rounds third and scores without a throw. 9-0, Mat-Su leads in the top of the 9th inning. 5 of those runs coming in this ultimate frame. 1-2 count, bases loaded, 2 away, bottom of the 9th. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up, infield grass, first base side. Vest creeps in next to the bag, reaches up with one hand and makes the grab. Mat-Su downs Anchorage in the first leg of 2 games to end the season series. 9-0 the final. The Miners move into a 1.5 game lead for first place.
Final time this regular season, the Mat-Su Miners take on the Anchorage Bucs at Mulcahy Stadium, and Ethan Like and his elite 4-0 record take the hill. He's starting once again for Tyler Brunn's squad, his second straight start, and his second start against the Bucs this season. And Nolan Tucker, the everyday second baseman, has been on a tear as of late. The Southern Miss product has reached base 8 straight games, and there is Mr. Cool as a Cucumber, Braden Rogers, catching for the first time since Monday Lancia is at DH. It's the Miners with a chance to beat the season series against the Bucs. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach, and Jesse, we have lineups once again here at Mulcahy Stadium. Leading off, Cooper Vest, Alex Vergara, Steven Lancia, Caden Cobra. Those four, nothing new right there. Tucker slides up from 6 to 5. Braden Rogers, as we mentioned, is in that 6th spot. Tomlin, 7, Hannah's 8, and Barreras, as always in recent games, batting 9th. Ethan Like on the hill out of Murray States for the Bucs. It's Michael Sarhat on the bump. Ben Haar, Curtis Abair, Joey Nair, Dante Turgeon. Jackson Sorensen moves from 3rd to 1st. Pendergrass, Burkhalter, he's back. He hasn't faced the Miners that often. Zach Thomas and Oliver Brown out of Holy Cross making his debut in the field and as a batter. Here we are, set to go. The Bucs wearing their black jerseys with yellow lettering and white pants with a stripe down. Mat-Su wearing the green jerseys with yellow lettering and gray pants. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach. Here we go. Sarhat, let's stretch. The righty deals a fastball for a strike on the outside corner to the left-hand hitting Cooper Vest.
Second game in a row, we're seeing a starting pitcher change to going out of the stretch. Both Ken and Daly yesterday, and Michael Sarhat today were previously going out of the windup.
Sarhat from the right side of the rubber, and Vest deals one to straightaway center field. Narrett charges back a few strides and makes the catch for out number 1.
Good hard contact from Vest. There's nothing new there. He usually pulls the ball. It's not often we see him put it to center, let alone left field, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. He hit the ball well. If he just turns it a little more down the line, that's got warning track, maybe home run power.
Sarhat at 6'6", 240 pounds, going to Point Loma. Righty-righty matchup with Lipscomb's Alex Vergara taking Lone away for ball 1. Sarhat has made 8 appearances, 7 starts this year, has a 4.77 ERA, a 3-2 record, and a 1.65 WHIP. His last outing was against Mat-Su back in Palmer a week ago. The 1-0 slides in the turf. It's 2-0 to Vergara. Sarhat in that outing last week went 5 innings, allowing 6 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of which were earned, striking out 4 and walking 3, but he did earn the win. That's when the Bucs won 9-5. Vergara batting at a 270 right. He's up in the count. 2 balls to no strikes. The pitch from Sarhat is clobbered way foul. Way deep to the left of the foul pole. Vergara in the first inning yesterday sent a long fly ball that appeared to be a home run, hugging the foul post, but the umpires ruled it a foul ball. Vergara would walk, and he would be hitless, 0 for 3, but did have 3 walks. The 2-1 pitch from Sarhat is clobbered up the middle. Will it fall? Yes, it will. 1 hops in front of Narrett. And Alex Vergara has himself a single.
Well, good job keeping himself low and steady on that inside pitch. Could have jammed on the hands, but Vergara does a really good job of leading with his wrists, so that allowed himself to keep the barrel of the bat in the zone for longer and take what could have been an awkward play into center field.
So here comes the catcher, Steven Lancia. He told me he is ready to hit the ball hard today. A lot of base hits in store for him. Of course, that's what he says. We'll see what he does, but he has a .380 batting average, which is tied for the league high right now with Blake Jackson of the Glacier Pilots. 1-on-1 out. The pitch misses down low for ball 1. Lancia yesterday went 2 for 6, a double, 2 RBIs, a run, and a strikeout, improving his on-base streak to 9 games. The 1-0 swung on, hit into shallow center field. The second baseman, Brown, ranges back and makes the grab about 12 steps into the outfield for out number 2.
And that's the first time Oliver Brown has played the field this season. He's been a pitcher, but the Bucs are anything if not liberal with their lineups. They try a lot of different combinations, so Brown getting his first fielding reps.
You're right, the Bucs employ a lot of depth, but no Lex Bodeker in the lineup today. A potential league MVP. First pitch to Carpenter is up and away, ball 1. Caden, the everyday right fielder for Matsu, bats at .254. Did go just 1 for 6 yesterday, but that hit was in his last plate appearance, extending his on-base streak to 7 games. The 1-0 runner goes trickling down the left field, the third baseline, called foul. The last hop before Pendergrass grabbed it was on the line, but he fielded it in foul territory. So it's a 1-1 count to the lefty out of Utah, Caden Carpenter. Carpenter, per usual, wearing a long sleeve on that left arm. It is black. The 1-1, checked his swing and sees it miss outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to the cleanup hitter. No Maddox Haley in the lineup today. The DH spot goes to Lancia today with Braden Rogers doing the catching. The 2-1, they might have him, but no, just in time, Vergara gets back. Vergara took a step toward second base as soon as Sarhat made that pickoff move, but got back just in time with Sorensen holding him on at first base. 1 on, 2 out, scoreless top of the first. Sarhat deals and a big swing and miss on the outside corner. It's 2-2. Sarhat leans in. Ball behind his back, now resets. Checks at Vergara again. No slide needed this time. Vergara this season, 4 for 4 on stolen bases. Swiped against the Bucs back on June 30th. And he checks on him again, a 3rd time in this at-bat. Back without a slide. Of course, the Bucs playing today without their normal head coach, Ken Hokuff. He was ejected yesterday. So acting manager Justin Mulvaney is doing the managing today. The 2-2 runner goes, but it's a hack and a miss on an inside breaking ball for out number 3. Sarhat leaves 1 runner on base. We head to the bottom of the first with Har, Abear, and Narrett due up against the lefty Ethan Light. We'll see you soon. midway through the first inning at Mulcahy Stadium alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach, and the southpaw out of Murray State, Ethan Like, is ready to go. Like this season has had 13 outings. 2 of them are starts. He's ready for his 3rd start of this season. Boasts a 2.11 ERA in 38 and a third innings and a 1.47 whip. He has been phenomenal for this team. He's moved from a reliever to a starter, and he knew that as soon as the departures of Ace Whitehead and Grant Richardson occurred. This starting group has been phenomenal. Last 2 days, Brandon Downer, 9-inning complete game, and yesterday, Cannon Alley right here at Mulcahy against this Bucs team went 6 innings, allowing just 1 hit. Hebert on the on-deck circle places a helmet for the acting first base coach, who is a player, but here we are set to face the lefty Ben Haar. Haar did not play in yesterday's contest between these 2 teams. He bats from the left side, playing left field. Like's first pitch of the ball game runs low and in for ball 1. Haar this season has just a 191 batting average. His last game came a week ago against the Miners back in Palmer. He went 1 for 5. The 1-0 pitch here is blasted up the middle. Barreras makes a diving play, gets on his feet, low throw, many hops, but gets him just in the nick of time. That hop about 4 times, but got Ben Haar in a 6-3 putout.
That's the beauty of a turf field, is that if you mess up like that and spike it into the dirt, you still got a chance of getting it there, and in a timely manner. The Reds had a great third baseman, Chris Sabo, who made an art out of that on their AstroTurf field at Riverfront Stadium. He would purposefully throw it behind the mound.
So that is something right there. There is sometimes an art to throwing it low. Here comes the righty Curtis Hebert, and he takes a tailing fastball that stings the lower outside corner, strike 1. Like as always, operating quickly out of the windup, glove above his face. He sets and winds and deals, and it's a swing into the catcher's mitt of Brandon Rogers for strike 2. Another fastball. Hebert bats .264 this season. Yesterday, he went 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. In fact, everybody except Zach Thomas was hitless. The 0-2 misses upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strike to the 2-hitter Hebert.
He has really struggled in July, just 5 for 34.
The 1-2 from Like misses low and away. Ball 2 evens up the count. And those struggles this month have been reflected against the Miners. He's hitless in his last 4 games against Matsu. The 2-2 pitch is low, so after going up 0-2, Like has a full count. Hebert, as always, sporting the purple gloves out of the University of Portland. The payoff misses inside. Hebert danced out of the way. And that's the first base runner for the Bucs today.
Well, it's a dangerous rut that Matsu pitchers have fallen into many times this season, which is getting timid in 2-strike counts. It's prevalent with bullpen guys like, but he really has to make that adjustment on the hill as a starter to come out of the gate attacking and stay that way.
So here comes the lefty Joey Narrett. He was the leadoff spot yesterday, and he swings and misses on a low fastball, strike 1. Narrett, like Hebert, has seen his batting average dip as the season has progressed. It used to be around 340. It's now under 300 at 298. The 0-1 pitch. Another big hack and a miss. Narrett struck out once yesterday in his 0 for 4 line. He's just 3 for 20 against Matsu this season. The 0-2 pitch gets behind Rogers through his legs, and Hebert scoots over to second base. That breaking ball missed way outside, and Rogers couldn't scoop it up.
First wild pitch of the game for Like, and Matsu didn't have any of those in the last 2 contests.
Yeah, Daly entered with 5 wild pitches yesterday, was almost flawless on this mound a day ago. Like checks Hebert at second, fires home. The pitch is tapped over on the edge of the bat, foul, and Justin Mulvaney cannot make the play, much to the dismissal of his own team. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the first. Likes pitch. Tapper down the first baseline. Foul.
Nolan Tucker is playing really far back at second base on the outfield turf. But that's part of the luxury of an all-turf field is there's no barrier between the infield and the early outfield area, so anything that scoots over on a line, he's going to pick up.
The 1-2 swung on, flared down the left field line, tailing foul. About 10 feet to the left of the left field line. Similar location to the aforementioned Nolan Tucker's triple yesterday that scored Maddox Haley from first base. Still 1-2 to the lefty, Narrett. Likes pitch, here it comes. He checks a swing and fouls it straight back. Still 1-2.
Good awareness at the plate by Joey Narrett. That was a check swing. He knew it was something he didn't want, but he knew it was close enough. So that's what kept him alive.
Narrett was ranked the 5th best outfielder in the state of Wisconsin by perfect game, facing a highly touted high schooler himself and Ethan Lake. The 1-2 from the Murray State product is swung off of Rogers' leg. So it's still 1-2.
And that shows the difference between Rogers and Lancia. Although Brayton has been very solid behind the plate, he normally plays in the field. Lancia has a lot more experience catching those foul tips, so that's where the discrepancies come in.
Lake out of the stretch, he deals. Breaking ball, finally got him. Swing and miss on a pitch that died down low. 2 away in the bottom of the first.
Good confidence by Lake to stick with it. It was a tough at-bat as a pitcher with a batter being annoying, and he stayed true.
So here comes Dante Turgeon, the right fielder. Did not do well at the dish yesterday. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. The first pitch he sees today is lifted up and foul over the first base side. All those strikeouts came against the starter Cannon Daly. Turgeon would later work a walk against relief pitcher Matthew Lighthall in the 9th inning. One of 3 base runners to get on for the Bucs, but they would be held scoreless in that frame and the game. Matsu won 9-0. Like checks second, goes home with it, and it's sent down the first base line. Once again, foul. This one on a bit more of a line. Nevertheless, it's an 0-2 count to the cleanup hitter, Dante Turgeon. The right-hand batter has struck out in 8 of his last 10 games and is behind in the count here, 0-2. Like trying to go with the put away. Here it comes. The pitch sails foul again down that first base line.
Well, that's 2 batters in a row where Like has tried 2 strike pitches high and away on a breaking ball. He might want to think about throwing it a little faster and maybe lower as well.
The 0-2 swung on, flared in a shallow right field. Carpenter goes back, now lunges in and makes a grab over his right shoulder for out number 3. The Bucs strand Bear at second base after 1 full inning. It's still 0-0 with Tucker, Rogers, and Tomlin due up. We'll be right back. We're back in the second inning here in Anchorage. To my left is Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. And leading off here in the second inning is left-hand hitter Nolan Tucker. He recently committed to Southern Miss 4 days ago. He digs in on the left side. He bats .229 on the year. 16 hits and 70 at-bats. Sarhat deals from the stretch, and it misses outside, ball 1. Narrett center playing shallow. The 1-0. Trickler towards short. Abear scoops it up, throws high, and Tucker beats out the throw. It was a slow ground ball that Abear had to charge on. Pendergrass thought about it at third base, but left it to Abear, and Tucker's on with an infield single.
It's an odd thing about a turf field. You usually expect the ball is going to stay as hot as it was right off the bat. But that just died on the infield turf.
So here comes Braden Rogers, the catcher. Turns 21 years old today. First pitch to Braden is a big cut and a miss, strike 1 on the inner half of the plate. Rogers this season out of Central Arizona College bats .222. Last played on Monday at Chugiak, went over 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Sarhat checks on Tucker, back safely on a slide. Tucker had 1 stolen base yesterday, up to 4 against the Bucs this season. Joe's bunt, place it down, right field side. Sarhat underhands it to first base, and Braden Rogers has a sacrifice bunt that gets Tucker to second.
Sarhat can be really happy with how he fielded that ball. He couldn't make the turn to second, but he didn't hesitate, which shows good awareness.
So Tucker is at second base, and here comes Sebastian Tomlin, also out of Central Arizona Community College. Bats .189 on the year. Went 0 for 2 yesterday with a walk and a hit by pitch and a run. First pitch to him is the left. High and outside on a fastball. Tomlin reached base twice, as we mentioned, and is now on a 7-game on-base streak. Sarhat, long wait, long stare in the left field. Now fires home the 1-0. Big swing miss outside. 1-1 the count to Seabass. Tomlin has struggled against the Bucs. Just 1 hit in 23 at-bats. That 1 hit came back here on June 18th. The 1-1 late on a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tomlin was great against Chugiak over the weekend. 4 extra base hits on Saturday and Monday combined against the Chinooks. Sarhat's 1-2. Here it comes, and it's blasted to center field, but Narrett plays it perfectly. Ranges in by a few strides. His positioning in shallow center field paid off, and there are 2 away in the top of the second.
Every now and then you just find a team that has your number. Like you said, Tomlin has been fine against non-Anchorage teams. Just a switch flips.
Studies will have to be done on that, I tell you what. Studies will have to be done. Scientists will be studying this dilemma 20 years from now.
Pretty easy to flip a switch. You just, click.
Oh, no. Here comes the righty Hannes, who belts a ground ball to third base and is out by a stride. Pendergrass threw it on the 1-hop to Sorensen, and that retires the side. Matsu leaves a runner and Tucker on second base. After an inning and a half, it's still scoreless with Sorensen, Pendergrass, and Burkhalter due up. We'll be right back. We're back in the bottom of the second inning. I'm Austin Barach, joined to my left by Jesse Cook. Ethan Lake still on the hill for Matsu, about to face Jackson Sorensen, Alex Pendergrass, and Trenton Burkhalter. 5, 6, and 7 in the Anchorage order. And here comes Sorensen at 6'4", 225 out of Iowa Western. Lefty-lefty matchup, likes pitch. Misses outside on a fastball, 1-0 the count. Sorensen yesterday went 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a strikeout. He comes out of Idaho, and he faced Daly, who's from Idaho as well yesterday, as the 1-0 misses alone away. Against Daly specifically, he struck out once and walked twice, and those two chatted up before today's game. The 2-0 from Lake is blasted off of his foot on the swing. It's 2-1 the count. You know, I have to wonder, you know, with Sorensen and Daly going back to their high school days in Idaho, do you think it was Sorensen who was saying, I got the upper hand on you yesterday, 2 walks and 1 strikeout?
I think he would say that. I mean, anytime a pitcher strikes out a batter, the guy's got to feel pretty good. Daly didn't give up any hits, but still, you get on base more often than not. That's not bad as a hitter.
Sorensen this season has 28 strikeouts to 21 walks. Here he is up at the count, 2 balls to 1 strike. Likes pitch, misses lone away, 3-1 the count. Lake allowed 1 walk in the first, that was to Bear. Southpaw kicks and deals and fires a strike tailing in. It's a full count. Like from the left side of the rubber facing us. He toes it. Here we go. It's flared down the left side. Foul. Sorensen at 294 this season. Over 100 at-bats. Likes payoff pitch. Swung on. Sent to left field. Vergara lays out and makes the grab. Head first slide for Alex Vergara, his 4th diving catch of the year. And Sorensen is retired to start the bottom of the second.
Alex Vergara seemingly keeps surprising us with how good he is in the field. He makes smart plays, and it takes a high IQ to know when to dive for a ball.
That one was just dying out there and left, and Vergara made the acrobatic play as Pendergrass muscles one into shallow right field, but Carpenter is there calling off Tucker to make the grab. 2 quick outs.
Moving back to the Vergara play, I mean, we saw Alex Pendergrass in left field miss diving for a play yesterday, and it gave Matsu extra bases. Vergara knows full well that if he misses, that could be a big hit.
Point streak here in Alaska doesn't have those runs saved stats, as the first pitch to Trenton Burkhalter misses high and away, but it would certainly be cool to see how many runs Vergara has saved this season in the outfield, both in center and in left. The 1-0 pitch to the righty Burkhalter stings the outside corner. Burkhalter, if you haven't paid attention, he hasn't played much against Matsu this season. This is just his 3rd game against the minors. The 1-1 pitch, tails lone away. Both of those games came on the weekend back in June rather. We weren't here in May. June 17th and June 18th, where he went 1 for 7 with a double. The 2-1 pitch is popped up infield play. Vest, the first baseman, ranges to his right and makes the grab over his right shoulder. 1, 2, 3 goes Ethan Lake, and the Miners are due up to bat again with 9-1-2. We'll be back in a few moments. quickly hit the third inning here at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach. Michael Sarhat, the tall righty, still out there for Anchorage as Emilio Barreras steps in on the left side. Barreras is the 9-hitter. Sarhat has retired the first 8 batters after allowing just a couple of base runners. Sarhat's first pitch to Emilio is left up and away, ball 1. Barreras this season bats at a .261 clip, has 6 extra base hits. Yesterday went 1 for 2 with an RBI, a walk, a hit by pitch, and a sac fly, and he swings and misses big time on a pitch low and away. In fact, Barreras now has sac fly RBIs in 2 consecutive games, something you don't see a whole lot of. He's got 3 recorded sac flies this season. The 1-1 from Sarhat is swung on and hit sharply to the backstop. It's 1-2. Barreras now has a 5-game hitting streak against the Bucs. Bats at just a .226 clip against them this season. Does not have a multi-hit game against them. The 1-2 pitch is corked down the right field line. Sorensen in pursuit. Can he get there? No, he can't. First baseman and the right fielder Dante Turgeon watch it fall equidistant from him in foul territory.
Odd move by Turgeon. He stopped running at the end. He just took a couple steps and let the ball drop in front of him. He might have had a shot if he kept hustling.
Maybe he was nervous about that big frame of Sorensen coming at him, 6'6", 225. In any case, Barreras has a 1-2 count against him. He's only struck out 8 times this season. Sarhat's pitch sweeps low, evens up the count, 2-2. 0-0 the score here in the top of the third. It was 0-0 yesterday until the 6th inning when Matsu finally drew first blood. Ended up winning 9-0. The 2-2 here is belted towards second base. Brown fields it and throws on to first. He collected it to the left of his hip and made the play out number 1.
It's the same conversation as Sebastian Tomerlin. It's good contact on those low pitches, just still waiting for that spot. And Emilio is someone who's clobbered the ball this season already with a couple of home runs. You shouldn't be worried about him.
Absolutely not. Cooper Vessey's belted 1 official one this season, 2 in totality when you include the exhibition one on June 11th. First pitch to him here misses outside. Vest flied out to center back in the top of the first inning. It feels like every game he sends some sharp hits to the outfield that get caught, but recently those have been finding some space as he is fooled on that changeup low, 1-1 the count. In fact, he's hit safely in 18 of his last 20 games and rides an 8-game hitting streak into today's matchup. He went 3 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs yesterday. Sarhat's 1-1. Scoops in 2 balls, 1 strike to the slugger, Cooper Vest. He's got just under an 800 OPS this season. Anything above 750 is pretty darn good. The 2-1 is hammered through to right field past Oliver Brown. Vest is on board with another base hit, his 42nd hit of the season, extending his lead there in the ABL.
42nd of the season and 4th in the last 2 days. He's hitting the ball in Anchorage really well.
Here's another guy, Alex Vergara, who has hit the ball well in Anchorage, singled to center field back in the first inning. Of course, sent a moonshot yesterday that was called foul. First pitch to him here misses low inside, ball 1. Vergara is 5 for 17 against the Bucs this season. That's just under his overall average as Vest slides back safely on Sarhat's pickoff attempt. Sarhat, of course, checked in on Nolan Tucker 3 or 4 times in the previous inning when he was at first base. The 1-0 is a big hack and a miss. Vergara swung out of his shoes. It's 1-1.
You could tell his disappointment mid-swing when he realized he didn't hit the ball because he pulled his head out of the swing and immediately started to walk around.
The left fielder, Benhar, playing far back for the hitter as he takes a pitch low, gets by Burkhalter, and Vest capitalizes, swiping second base.
I mean, Burkhalter kept the ball in front of him. That's probably a stolen base for Vest and not a wild pitch or a pass ball, just a misplay at catcher without letting it by.
Vest stole a base back in the third inning yesterday after having a single, so a little deja vu right there. He would be stranded, though, with the bases loaded. The pitch to Vergara is a called strike on the inner half of the dish. It's a 2-2 count.
By the way, that inning yesterday was also led off by Emilio Barreras.
That's right, and it would end with Maddox Haley flying out to right. Haley, of course, not in the lineup today. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Alex in that open stance. Here it comes. The pitch sails low and away. Ball 3. It's a full count coming up. Good stop by Burkhalter.
Cooper Vest had no stolen bases until yesterday.
He certainly got the wheels. Not for a lack of speed, that's for sure. He's got that mitt on his left hand when he goes in the base pad. The payoff to Vergara, swing and a miss, gets behind Burkhalter, not by much. He fires on a first base for an out there. Vest takes third base, though, amidst that play. So a runner is 90 feet away for Steven Lancia.
How about that? Cooper Vest had not tried a steal until yesterday. Now he's 3 for 3.
Well, actually, the home plate umpire calls Vest back at second base.
Huh?
I'm not really sure why.
That doesn't make any sense. Unless they're saying Vergara tapped the ball. But he didn't. That is a bizarre call, but the Matsu bench doesn't seem too aggravated about it.
All right, then, 2 outs, and Vest back at second base for Steven Lancia. Scoreless top of third here at Mulcahy. Sarhat's pitch is a big swing and a miss on the inner half. Lancia on the season has 13 RBIs. Had 2 of them yesterday. Left foot slightly in front of the right. He looks at a strike, fastball right down the middle. 0 balls and 2 strikes. Lancia popped out to second base back in the first inning. Matsu has stranded 1 runner in each of the first 2 frames so far, in danger of making that 3 straight. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, low and inside. Sarhat wins the battle against Lancia and strikes out Vergara and Lancia back to back. We've hit point of the third inning. It's 0-0, and as always, we've hit that time to introduce today's Pickaxe Pickle.
That's right, Austin, and this one, like many of the others, takes us to a former member of the Matsu Miners. So, Eric Bruntlett played for the 1998 Miners club before embarking on a 7-year Major League career. The utility player won a World Series ring with the Phillies in 2008, although that feat is not the most remarkable part of Bruntlett's career as far as rarity. What baseball oddity did Bruntlett achieve that no one else has ever done? We'll have the answer to that quandary in the middle of the 5th inning.
It's a real stumper, per usual.
I do my best. I do my best. Even though that one actually came, you know how much my father, Ben Cook, loves to come up with these questions.
Oh, yeah.
He's a bigger baseball fan than I am, which is saying something.
That is actually saying something. You cannot really get a fact about baseball past Jesse Cook.
Give me a year.
I don't know if I can play that game. So, we've reached the bottom of the third here. Ethan Lake out of Murray State, still on the hill. Set to face Zach Thomas, Oliver Brown, and Ben Haar. Cross with a 404 on base percentage. Like checks the runner Thomas at first base, back without a slide. But it's interesting that Anchorage, without Ken Hokuff as their head coach today, is opting to go with Oliver Brown, who has 0 at-bats this season. The 0-1 is tattooed to the backstop. It's 0-2. When you got Lex Bodeker, a player of the year candidate, not in the starting lineup, and you got Oliver Brown in there, so maybe they're really trying to mix things up. Likes 0-2 to Brown, misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Brown, who plays second base today, he fielded a ground ball from Barach in the top half of this inning. Brown is out of South Anchorage, part of that elite high school team. Like checks on the runner. Thomas, this season, 2 for 3 on stolen base opportunities, was caught stealing against Matsu in the first matchup of the year between these two, all the way back on June 6th. The pitch home drifts away, and Brown has evened up the count at 2 apiece. 1 on, nobody out in the bottom of the third. It's a 0-0 ball game. Light goes home. The pitch, swing and a miss. Brown swung too late, and he strikes out in his first plate appearance of the season.
This is crunch time in the season where you ask guys to do unconventional things, and Brown, like you said, hasn't hit all year, so definitely has some rust to shake off.
So here comes a guy in Ben Haar who has had 69 at-bats this year. He grounded out to Barreras to start the first inning, and he takes ball 1 up and in. Barreras and Tucker in double play depth. This Matsu defense has turned plenty of those this season. Haar, a rising sophomore out of the University of San Diego. Light goes home. The pitch up high, ball 2.
Likes missed his spot with his curveball a couple times, but otherwise been very reliable with his breaking stuff. These guys are still developing those arching pitches even this late in the season, so maybe he's trying something new.
Like checks the runner again, not even close. Like in his start against the Bucs back on June 18th, went into the 4th inning, but allowed 6 hits, 4 earned runs. Arguably his worst outing of the season. The 2-0 pitch is left upstairs. It's a 3-0 count. And against the Bucs, Like has a 5.40 ERA. Against the Oilers, he's got a 1.35, and against the Chinooks, he's got a 1.45 ERA. So his worst team has been the Bucs. The 3-0 pitch misses alone away. Ball 4, and Ben Haar has the second walk of the game issued by Ethan Like. That sends Zach Thomas to second base, so with just 1 out and 2 on, Rogers and Barreras meet with Like. Curtis Hebert dangles that back and forth in his left hand. The 2-hitter wearing number 2 was the other walk that Like has issued in this game. Hebert was stranded on second base back in the first inning. Still a 0-0 game here in the bottom of the third. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach. Like's pitch to Hebert catches the outside corner, strike 1. Hebert has just 10 RBIs this season. The 0-1 fastball, swing and a miss. Outside, tailing away from the right-hand batter. It's quickly 0-2. Like checks Thomas at second. Goes home. The pitch, blown away. 1-2. Matsu a game and a half up on the Bucs in the standings. Should they win today, they will clinch the season series against the Bucs 6-4 and will secure home field advantage for at least the first round of the playoffs. The 1-2 inside, caught him looking. Like strikes out Abear, his second K of the inning, his third of the game, and there are 2 outs in the third. So here comes Joey Narrett, who was the first strikeout victim for Like today. He bats from the left side out of Dallas Baptist University. 2 on, 2 outs. The pitch, swing and miss, strike 1. Just a fastball right down the middle. Narrett's really struggled catching up to those yesterday and so far today.
Everyone in this Anchorage lineup except Zach Thomas struggled yesterday.
Likes 0-1, curveball, high bouncer to second base. Tucker has it, collects it at his knee, and fires on first just in time for out number 3. So the Bucs strand 2 and strike out twice in the bottom of the third. After 3 full innings, it's still scoreless at Mulcahy. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Through 3 innings, the score is exactly the same as it was when the game started. 0-0 between the Road Miners and the home Bucs. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. It's the top of the 4th inning here at Mulcahy Stadium, and the Miners have the heart of the order up in lefty Caden Carpenter, lefty Nolan Tucker, and righty Braden Rogers. Michael Sarhat, the big righty on the hill, his 4th inning of work, and he's allowed 3 hits through 3 innings. These teams are exactly even thus far in many categories. First pitch to Carpenter. Swings and misses behind the high and away fastball. So each pitcher has struck out 3 batters. Each team has stranded 3 base runners through those 3 innings. Carpenter struck out swinging last time up. He digs in, crowding the plate in a tall open stance. The 0-1. Misses high and away. Sarhat's been confident in that fastball all game, throwing it time and time again.
He has. It certainly worked against righties for sure. He got Vergara and Lancia to strike out back-to-back to end the last frame.
1-1 count. Sarhat pitching from the stretch, kicks and deals. Fastball high and away, misses. And get this, Michael Sarhat has not thrown a first pitch breaking ball to any batter.
I believe it, yeah. The eye test backs it up for sure.
2-1 count for the lefty out of Utah. Infield back, the pitch. Dances low for a ball. Hitters count for Carpenter, and he knows how to board on a walk. He leads the league in that category with a whopping 28 bases on balls. Sarhat from the stretch fires. Swing and a miss. Again, the low and away fastball. Carpenter couldn't reach it. The count moves to full. The entire infield is either on the outfield grass or right on the border. By contrast, most of the outfield is crept in except for right fielder Dante Turgeon. The 3-2. Fastball up high, misses. Ball 4, and Carpenter leads off with a walk. His 29th of the season.
So he's back in sole possession of first place in that department. It's been him versus Chugiak's Austin Young all year.
Young, a solid catcher who's given the Miners trouble. Nolan Tucker, a solid second baseman who gave the Bucs a lot of trouble yesterday with a pair of RBIs, a pair of runs scored as well, going 2 for 3. He also walked twice. Tucker stands on the left side of the plate at the very back of the box. Corners in, first pitch. Checks a swing on a fastball at the belt for a strike. Nolan Tucker is someone who's very multifaceted when it comes to sports. He was a champion wrestler in high school, won his conference twice. The 0-1 pitch. Swings, cuts it down the third base side, foul. The count moves to 0-2. Tucker has not exactly struggled in the strikeout department. He's only gone down by way of the K 13 times in 27 games, and that's because of his two-strike approach, shortening up on the bat. And he said he doesn't think about it too much, but time and time again, he's fouled off a close pitch. The 0-2. Fastball misses high and away. Burkhalter jumped up to grab it. He also darted a glance at Caden Carpenter on first base, and for good reason. Carp leads the minors in stolen bases with 6. He's tied with center fielder Sebastian Tomerlin. 1-2 count from the stretch. Darting curveball missed up high. 2-2 count for Tucker. Nolan Tucker, like Carpenter, has an on-base percentage above 400. Only 3 members of the minors are above 400 in that department, as well as normal catcher, today's DH, Steven Lancia. The 2-2, swing and a miss behind the fastball. An uncharacteristic strikeout for Nolan Tucker, only his 14th of the season, and there's one away with one on here in the top of the 4th inning of this scoreless game in Anchorage. That cut and miss brings up today's catcher, Braden Rogers. The righty comes to Matt Sue out of Central Arizona Community College, and there was some CAC action in the minor leagues today, as Sarhat steps off the rubber. For the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, Tyler Wosner pitched, and he was a member of the Matsu Miners 2 years ago. Sarhat first to Rogers, swings, drains it to the third base side, fielded on the run. Pendergraft throws to second for 1. The dart to first, in time! Anchorage flares a pair with 1 play. Alex Pendergraft, who spends most of his time in the outfield, comes through clutch on the infield. A double play ends the inning for Matsu. The game remains scoreless as we move on to the bottom of the 4th inning. Anchorage about to bring up its heart of the order in Turgeon, Sorensen, and Pendergrass. We'll be back in just a moment. Moving back along in Anchorage, Alaska, the score is still 0-0 between the first place Miners and the second place Bucs. These teams are separated by a game and a half in the standings, and there's only 3 more games left to play for Matsu. That's who's in the field. The Bucs coming up to the bat. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Ethan Like back on the bump. He's only allowed 1 hit in his 3 innings of work. That means that the Bucs, through the last 12 frames against Matsu, have only reached base on 3 hits. They've got the heart of their order coming up in the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Dante Turgeon, Jackson Sorensen, and Alex Pendergrass. Like the lefty out of Murray State on the bump, Turgeon hits from the right side. Last time up, he flied out to right field. Like stares and steps into the windup, his first pitch. Fastball misses low and away for ball 1. Turgeon has not seen a ball yet before that pitch. The 1-0. Swings, cuts it up the middle, dribbler back at the mound. Like fields it on the hop, lobs on to first, and he got him by a healthy margin. 1 up, 1 down. That brings up Jackson Sorensen. Last time up, he had a shallow fly ball to left field that looked like it could drop, except that Alex Vergara went airborne, parallel to the ground, to rob him of a base hit. The left fielder for the Miners with his 4th diving catch of the year. Lefty-lefty matchup, the first pitch. But fastball misses high and away.
And when you're struggling like Sorensen, it just seems like, oh boy, a hit.
Yeah.
Oh, of course it's going to be caught.
The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a rip to second base. Tucker fields it on the shallow outfield turf. Darts on to first, and he got him. 4 pitches, 2 outs. Ethan Like doing a really good job of staying low in these counts and forcing contact. He struck out 3 batters, but when you're down relief pitchers, you need to allow players to hit the ball earlier in counts. Here's Alex Pendergrass. He flied out on the first pitch he saw in the 2nd inning. Pitch number 1 on the way. Fastball misses low outside. Like comes set, kicks and deals. Fastball at the belt, high and away for a strike. He's leaning on that heater. It's working for him thus far, having allowed just 1 hit. The 1-1. Swing and a cut to the right side and foul. Like entered this game with a .235 earned run average, one of the best on the roster. His 1-2. Swinging another pop-up foul out of play off to the right side. Pendergrast has been good to say the least against Matsu. 10 hits and 27 at-bats. Means he's getting on base more than a third of the time. Likes 1-2, he fires. Swinging a foul tip to the backstop. Alex Pendergrass doing a great job of staying alive. Striking out is not something he does often against the Miners. He's only gone down by way of the K 3 times against the green and gold. Likes 1-2. Swing and a pop-up behind first base, foul ground and out of play. Like raises the glove to his eyes, shakes off one signal, finally nods, and into the windup he goes. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Ethan Like with his 4th strikeout in 4 innings, and that moves us to the top of the 5th. 0-0 still to score. Another pitcher's duel through the first part of the game. We're back at it at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. It's the top of the 5th inning. The score is still exactly the same as it was when this game started, 0-0. Same tale as yesterday when the Miners and Bucs were scoreless up until the 6th inning. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Michael Sarhat is still on the bump. The big righty wears his black jersey a little loose around the belt. He's got Sebastian Tonarone, who tucks it in tight. The lefty out of Central Arizona Community College digs in without any hits against the Bucs in this series. Only 1 on the season. In fact, against Anchorage teams in general, he's got just 2 hits. Righty-lefty matchup. Sarhat comes set on the far right of the rubber. He fires. Tomerlin swings and misses at the low curveball. That's the first time that Sarhat has started out a batter with a breaking pitch. Tomerlin crowds the plate, stretches his hands, wears his white batting gloves with a gray trim. The 0-1. Swinging a pop-up, third base side, foul ground, chasing his Pendergrass towards the bench. He leaps at the wall and can't bring it back. Out of play. Tomerlin comes to the minors out of Central Arizona Community College, and there is a former Vaquero and minor going at it in the minor leagues today. High A ball for the Milwaukee Brewers affiliate, the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Tyler Wosner went 5 innings against the Cedar Rapids Colonels. Just 1 hit, 2 runs allowed, 7 strikeouts. The Matsu alumni doing well. The 0-2, backdoor curveball misses low and away.
And he didn't play all that much for Matsu in 2021, but that just goes to show you these guys can bloom even after playing with Matsu.
That's right. The 1-2 pitch. Tomlin checks his swing on a low inside fastball. It skipped away. Third base umpire says that Tomerlin did not go around, so that is a ball.
That would have been pretty mean for Seabass if they offered and it was called a strike after the catcher Burkhalter had already collected it. Would have given him, not much time to run to first base.
Well, that's part of selling it. Tomerlin made no reaction, so the umpires had no reason to think that he thought it was a strike.
Right.
The 2-2 pitch, swing and a pop-up, third base side, and foul. And back on those minors alumni, last week Will Johnston got signed by a major league team, and he was another 2021 Matsu minor. So it's been a good couple of weeks for the ABL alumni.
Yeah, going to the Athletics.
The 2-2, Tomerlin swings, drives it down the first base line on a slow roller, but it's foul. His second consecutive 2-strike foul ball. Tomerlin is someone who has heavily struggled in the strikeout department this season. He's gone down by way of the K 27 times, more than any other member of the minors. 2-2 count. Sarhat from the stretch, swinging another foul tip to the backstop. Tomerlin leading the team with 27 strikeouts. Sounds bad from a Matsu standpoint, but they're the only team with nobody having 30 strikeouts or more. Every other team has at least one player above the 30 mark.
Wow.
2-2, still the count. Sarhat from the stretch. Tomerlin swings and misses. Finally behind that fastball, although he fended off 3 straight 2-strike pitches. One away here in the top of the 5th inning. 0-0 the score between the minors and the Bucs. That brings up Caleb Hannas, the righty third baseman out of Valparaiso. Last time up, Hannas grounded out to third on the first pitch he saw. He wears blue and black batting gloves and digs in, crowding the plate on the right side with a lightly open stance and a black shin guard over his pant leg. Michael Sarhat takes a moment on the bump and motions a quick time to the umpire, but now he steps back onto the rubber. He stares in at home and comes set on the far right of the rubber. Fires. Fastball low and inside, called a strike.
Hannes didn't love that call, but the most animated you'll see Caleb get is just a shake of the head.
That's right. Occasionally you'll get a smile out of him, but that's the most emotion he usually shows. The 0-1 pitch. Early swing and a pop-up foul off the dirt out of play. He slammed that one into the turf, and he took a high hop. This is part of the entertainment factor that comes with an all-turf field. Well, all-turf infield. The outfield is still grass. 0-2 from Sarhat. Curveball low and away, misses. Chugiak has the same setup, and it's because it costs less to maintain the grass while having a turf infield than it would to mow the entire field or have turf laid out all across. The 1-2. Fastball high and away, called strike 3. Hanna's left frozen. Wow, Michael Sarhat, he is rolling so far with 5 Ks through 4 2/3 innings. Matsu leads the hitting department 3-1, but it's still tied 0-0 top of the 5th. Nobody on 2 away. Emilio Barreras at the plate, first pitch to the lefty. Fastball low and inside, called a strike. Emilio is someone who normally loses his hat in the field going after a ball, and that's because he's got big hair. It shows out the bottom of his helmet. That pitch, swung on, driven high and deep down the right field line, but way too foul. Emilio had home run power under that swing, but he put it in the wrong direction. And Barreras has strangled a couple of home runs this season, and I say that because he really had a tight grip on the bat, really white-knuckle swinging. The 0-2. Swing and a miss on the curveball low. Sarhat has 6 Ks, and he strikes out the side in order in the 5th. Now we head to the mid-inning break in the 5th inning. 0-0 still the score. But Austin, your Pickaxe Pickle trivia numbers are, well, actually, I don't think we have the stats on those, but
I'll
I'd
tell
say
you they're decreasing.
I'd say they're good.
At some
A
point in the
Hall
season,
of Famer bats 3 for 10.
I don't know. It's probably worse than that. I think I started out like 4 for 10, 4 for 11, something like that off of pure guesswork. At this point, it's probably like 5 for 29 or something.
Well, I did have to step up the difficulty, I think. So let's get back to that question. Today's Pickaxe Pickle, Eric Bruntlett played for the 1998 Matsu Miners before embarking on a 7-year Major League career. The utility player won a World Series ring with the Phillies in 2008, although that feat is not the most remarkable or unique part of Bruntlett's career. What baseball oddity did Bruntlett achieve that no one else has ever done?
I'm going to go with playing every position in the same game.
Well, that's happened plenty of times, but that's a good guess. Bruntlett was a good utility player, although he never suited up for catcher or pitched. The answer, he had a walk-off unassisted triple play. On August 23, 2009, New York Mets right fielder Jeff Francoeur slapped a line drive right at the Philadelphia second baseman with a hit-and-run double steal in play with the runners on first and second. Bruntlett nabbed the ball, stepped on second to get second baseman Luis Castillo, and then he tagged New York's first baseman Daniel Murphy. And that is baseball's 15th and most recent unassisted triple play, and it's the only walk-off.
Huh. The other team must feel so sorry for themselves to lose on an unassisted triple play. Wow, that's like Little League stuff.
That brings us to the bottom of the 5th inning, 0-0. Ethan Lake on the bump. His first batter is Trenton Burkhalter. Lefty deals to the righty. Fastball high and away, misses for ball 1. Burkhalter popped up to first base his last time up. He crowds the plate on the right side. Lake into the windup, the 1-0. Swing and a miss on the fastball. And Ethan was not a starter before last week. Except for one instance, he had strictly come out of the bullpen, recording the most appearances in the league. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul tip to the backstop. 1-2 count. Up until yesterday, he was tied for the league lead in appearances at 13. Now he's back tied for 14 with J.D. Goodcase of these Bucs and Larry Westall of the Miners. 1-2 count. Burkhalter sets a bat in his shoulder. Like deals. Hanging curveball misses high and away. And up until about 2 weeks ago, Matsu had a full pitching staff but then lost 2 starters. The 2-2 pitch from Lake. Check swing on a fastball at the belt. Called a strike anyway. Like K's another. That one starts off the bottom of the 5th inning, so it remains 0-0 with nobody on base, and now 1 out.
So these pitchers have gone back and forth with similar strikeout and left on base numbers. If the script falls, Lake will strike out the side here in order.
That's right. Sarr had his 6 Ks. That was Lake's 4th. Here's Zach Thomas coming up on the right side of the plate. He singled last time. First pitch to the righty DH. He launches a fastball low and away for a strike. And in the last 2 days, only one player has recorded a hit against the Miners, and it's Zach Thomas 3 times, including his hit today. 0-1. Curveball misses high and away. And Matsu lost starters Grant Richardson and Ace Whitehead after their respective colleges shut them down due to injury. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Right field, Carpenter dances back. He's got plenty of time. Reaches up with one hand and makes a grab. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. Ethan Lake has done a beautiful job, only allowing 1 hit on the day. Nobody on base for the 9-hitter Oliver Brown, making just his 2nd appearance as a batter this season.
You can't say enough good things about this pitching staff for the Miners. These last 3 games have been unbelievable.
Brown stands midway through the box. Like deals. The righty swings and misses, falling over his front foot. Brown had not appeared as a batter this season, but he struck out his first time up today. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball at the knees, strike 2.
You gotta figure Lake is just licking his chops with a guy who hasn't seen live pitching in a long time. Just attack him.
Brown's seen live pitching. He threw yesterday. He just hasn't been the batter
from
for
the
it.
other side, yes.
The 0-2. Fastball high and away for a ball. Yesterday, Brown pitched against the Miners. He went an inning to end the game. 3 hits, 1 run allowed. 1-2 from Lake. He fires. Swinging a rip to second base. Tucker lays out on the outfield grass, slides, gets it, throws to first. He got him! Nolan Tucker with a highlight reel play, sliding on the outfield turf. 1-2-3 go the Bucs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ethan Lake has still only allowed 1 hit, and he can credit some of that to his stellar defense. A diving grab from Vergara all the way back in inning number 2, and Nolan Tucker follows through with some acrobatics in the infield here in the 5th. We move on to the 6th inning, still 0-0. If you're confused about what game you're watching, don't be. Yes, this is the exact same blueprint to yesterday's bout between the Miners and Bucs. Both teams were scoreless through the first 5 innings. Both pitchers going strong. Anchorage taking out its starter before the 6th. Michael Sarhat out after 5 3-hit, no-run innings, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Now it's up to Cameron Crane, the lefty out of University of Central Florida. He's a rising senior, stands all 6'3" and weighs 200 pounds. He's making his 10th appearance of the year. With Austin Barach on Jesse Cook, Matsu has the top of its order up in Cooper Vest, Alex Vergara, and Steven Lancia. Combined, those 3 are 2 for 6. Vest and Vergara both with singles in the 1st and 2nd inning. Crane has a .434 earned run average on the season. This is his 6th time coming out of the bullpen. He has 1 save on the year. He struck out 36 in 29 innings. He's a lefty, just like Cooper Vest out of BYU. The infield is back on all accounts except third base, who's in on the grass. First pitch. This is high and inside for a ball. Vest singled his last time up. He flied out to center to start the game, but turned around on one and sent it into the right field gap last time up in the 3rd inning. Crane comes set, pitching from the stretch, kicks and deals. Vest swings and foul tips it to the backstop. Michael Sarhat was clean-shaven, but Crane wears a mustache over his top lip, and it's very dark, just like his hair. 1-1 count for Vest. Crane resettles. Toes the rubber, takes a deep breath. Now he fires. Fastball misses up high, 2-1. This is Crane's 3rd time going up against Matsu, but his 1st time in over. Today's July 28th. 2-1 pitch to Vest. Swings and tears it up the middle, right at center field, and Joey Narrett makes the grab. Vest had highway mileage on that ball, but Joey Narrett was right there. He barely had to move. It was a total atom ball.
Yeah, these two teams know each other well. This is the 10th game they've played against each other, and that's a classic, unfortunate Cooper Vest out.
That brings up Alex Vergara. Last couple days have been characterized by unfortunate placement for him. He's hit 2 titanic home runs just left of the foul pole. Lefty on the bump, righty at the dish. First pitch, he watches a pitch up high for ball 1. Vergara earlier this game in his first at-bat crushed one, foul. Same thing as yesterday. Base is empty, 1 away, 0-0 top of the 6th. The 1-0. Fastball low and inside. Vergara, until yesterday, was not prone to the bases on balls. He'd only done it 6 times, but again, in last night's affair, he walked 3 times.
He couldn't care about it, though. I pointed out to him before today. He said, oh, who cares? 3 walks. I'd rather have hits.
Here's the 2-0. He swings and drives it to deep right center field. Narrett looking over his shoulder, chasing back towards the fence. That 2 hops the wall. Vergara cruises into second. He's rounding for third. Relay to the infield. They won't get him. Alex Vergara with a head first slide. He's got a triple. I guess he would rather have hits. Alex Vergara put a charge into that ball, and if he pulls it, it's probably gone.
This guy hates hitting singles. He just loves the extra base hits, and he was fired up in the direction of his dugout after that triple.
Well, here comes Steven Lancia, who also has a lot of extra base hits. Infield creeps in. Lancia doubled last night. The pitch misses low and away for a ball. The righty catcher out of UT Rio Grande Valley has actually doubled in each of his last 2 games since returning from taking 3 games off with scheduled break. 1-0 count. Crane from the stretch. Check swing, fastball at the belt, called a strike. Lancia, although normally he plays catcher, today he's a DH. He's 0 for 2 with a pop out to second and a strikeout swinging. Runner on third, 1 away, 1-1 count, 0-0 game. Crane kicks and fires. Hefty swing and miss. Lancia missed on his front foot. It's a 1-2 count. Vergara on third is familiar with the ABL, just like Lancia. They were both part of the minors team last year that made it to the championship game but lost to the Glacier Pilots. Crane's 1-2. Swing and a tapper down the third base line, foul. Lancia was all ABL at the catcher's spot. And Alex Vergara wasn't just all ABL, but he was the league MVP. And those two have carried that over this season. And they told you, Austin, in a post-game interview that they feed off each other's energy.
They love it. They love being back and carrying this team, leadership-wise.
Crane with the glove at his chest fires. Fastball misses above Lancia's head. It's a 2-2 count. The Bucs are shorthanded in the coaching department today. Head coach Ken Hokuff was ejected yesterday for arguing balls and strikes, as well as Zach McLeod, his assistant coach, his hitting coach. So it's all up to Justin Mulvaney, the pitching coach, today. The 2-2 to Lancia. Swings and cracks it to third. Pendergrass bobbles it, but recollects, throws on to first, and he got him. Vergara holds it third. Alex Pendergrass with another good play at third base. He caught a line drive earlier, and now the guy who normally ends up in the outfield has shut down the Miners' defense at the hot corner. Caden Carpenter walks up to the plate for Matt Sue. He went 1 for 6 yesterday, 0 for 1 thus far today, but he walked last time up. Lefty-lefty matchup. Crane toes the rubber, takes a deep breath. He fires. Fastball right over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Just like today, yesterday the game was scoreless entering the 6th inning, but Matt Sue piled on a couple of runs in that frame and jump-started its 9-run late-game rally. Crane's 0-1. Fastball low and outside, misses. It's a 1-1 count for Carpenter. 0-0 the score with 2 away in the top of the 6th inning. Matt Sue has a go-ahead run on third. Middle infield back, third base in. The 1-1. He swings and cracks it to the first base side and foul. It's a 1-2 count for Carp. We spoke to him after the game yesterday, and he said baseball's all about having fun, and he's someone who has a lot of fun reaching base.
He absolutely does. He doesn't like to do too much. Simple approach, sees the ball well. He just tries to win every pitch.
He's got a .420 on base percentage, one of the best in the league. The 1-2. Swings, rips it into right field on the ground and through. Alex Vergara comes home to score. Carpenter rounds first, and he holds there. An RBI single puts the Miners up 1-0. Caden Carpenter with a sweet swing pulling the ball. He also said yesterday he wasn't too happy about going 1 for 6. Well, he's 1 for 2 to lead things off here.
And just like yesterday, the first run of the game has occurred in the top of the 6th inning.
You know the Yogi Berra phrase, it's deja vu all over again.
Oh, yeah.
Nolan Tucker would like that phrase to come true. He's at the plate now, and he had 2 hits yesterday for 2 RBIs. Lefty-lefty matchup, throw over to first. Carpenter is back with a head-first dive. Tucker had those 2 RBIs yesterday. One of them came on a triple, and that was in the 6th inning, so I'm sure he would welcome that here. He says that he tries not to think too much when he's at the plate and just swing the bat. Lefty-lefty matchup, Crane from the stretch. Fastball over the heart of the plate. Tucker swings and misses, falling over his front foot. He actually stumbled after the swing as he ticked over home plate. And Tucker is undergoing a change of scenery. He just transferred this past weekend from Valparaiso to southern Mississippi, and he did all of his transfer portal work from Alaska remotely. 0-1 count. Crane takes a heavy breath, throws over to first. Carpenter doesn't even dive. He's back with a step. It's a good idea to keep an eye on Caden Carpenter. He's got 6 steals this season. That's tied for the Matsu team lead with center fielder Sebastian Tomerlin.
Going back to Tucker, it's got to be scary to do that transfer portal stuff. Not many offers, talking to a lot of people, all remotely from Alaska.
The 0-1 pitch. Watches a fastball low and outside for a ball. It's a 1-1 count. 1-0 the Miners lead, top the 6th inning, runner on first, 2 away. And Tucker said that he's never even visited the campus. All he knows about southern Mississippi in person is that they visited him at Valparaiso. They played each other, and he liked what he saw. 1-1 count, the pitch. He swings and tails one over the backstop, foul. 1-2 count. He said that he very much likes that southern Mississippi has a home run cannon that they sound off. He has yet to hit a dinger here in Alaska, but he has shown off his extra base power. His triple yesterday was his 2nd of the year. Crane with the glove at the shoulder as kicks and deals. Tucker swings and spirals it off foul to the left side. It's a 1-2 count.
And Tucker mentioned the attendance at Southern Miss is great, one of the reasons why he went there. So when Valpo went to Southern Miss back in March, the attendance for one of those games was at 5,220. Wow.
That's about 4 times what you see at the 1,200-seat capacity Herman Brothers Field, where the Miners call home. Infield back. 1-2 count for Tucker, 2 away. Throw over to first. Carpenter is back again without a slide and without a tag. Crane steps off the rubber, readjusts his black and white cap with a gold Bucs logo on the front, that Pirate B. Tucker at the back of the batter's box. Crane in the middle of the rubber now fires. Fastball misses up high. Nolan Tucker is someone with strength that doesn't just come from baseball. He was a conference champion wrestler in high school. Spoke very proudly of his black belt in jiu-jitsu. Crane's 2-2 on the way. Swinging a pop-up foul off to the third base side, and Tucker stays alive for another pitch.
Just keep fighting, and sometimes good stuff happens.
This describes a lot of the matchups between Matsu and Anchorage. Very close, but edging in the Miners' direction as they lead the season series 5-4, this being the regular season finale between these two. Matsu is in first place, a game over the Glacier Pirates, a game and a half ahead of the Bucs. 2-2 count. Crane throws over to first again. Carpenter is back standing. Caden Carpenter is a big guy. He stands all of 6'5", but he's still a very short step off of first base for his lead. Center fielder in, right and left field back, the middle infield on the outfield grass. The 2-2 pitch, Carpenter off for second, swung on, belted up the middle, right at short, Hebert fields it on the hop, Crow hops to first, and he got him. Matsu tacks on a run. Alex Vergara tripled, and Caden Carpenter singled him home. 1-0, the Miners lead entering the bottom of the 6th. Anchorage has the top of the order coming up in Har, Bear, and Narrett. We'll be back in just a moment as Ethan Light takes a bump for his 6th inning of work. We roll back along at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska, 1-0, the Miners lead. That's who's in the field. The Bucs coming up to the bat. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. That's who scored thanks to an Alex Vergara triple and a Caden Carpenter single that brought him home. The left fielder and the right fielder working in tandem. Ethan Light on the bump for the top of the Anchorage order in Ben Har. He's 0 for 1, but he walked last time up. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way. Fastball misses up high. And Light has started out 2/3 of this game with a ball to the first batter. He's faced 18 batters, 12 of them have seen a first pitch ball. The 1-0, swinging a pop-up, left center field. Vergara tracks over to his left, takes a couple steps back and makes the grab midway through the outfield grass. Ethan Light has retired 9 straight batters. He is cruising on the hill. He's only allowed 1 hit thus far today. That brings up Anchorage native Curtis A. Bear. The shortstop bats from the right side, and calling him a shortstop is doing him a disservice because he is a utility player. First pitch on the way. He watches a fastball high and away at the belt for a strike. And as are a bunch of these Bucs players, we've seen them shuffle the lineup. No player has appeared in all 10 meetings between these teams. The 0-1 forces a swing and miss.
Yeah, the Bucs use a lot of players, have a lot of depth, but you wonder if they don't have their solid 9, what kind of identity do they have?
The 0-2. Fastball misses high and away. That's right, and that is something that Matt Sue has down really well. They usually see the same 9 fielders and DH in every game, or 8 fielders in DH. The 1-2. Fastball low and inside, called strike 3. Ethan Light shuffles off the mound, waving his arms to his side like nothing just happened. 2 away, the 2 top members of this order, and Light has retired 10 in a row.
Ethan Light told us the longer he goes, the better he gets. Certainly been the case today.
That brings up Joey Narrett, the center fielder for these Bucs, batting from the left side. Like another southpaw, fires from the bump. Fastball at the thigh is called a strike. And we saw Like's philosophy enacted last time out against the Chinooks. Here's the 0-1. Narrett watches a fastball above the belt, high and away. 1-1 count. He went 7 innings in his first start in almost a month. And that was the first leg of a doubleheader, so 7 innings was a complete game. The 1-1 pitch. Sweeping curveball inside, swing and a miss. Like has his best stuff right now. He's retired 10 in a row, and he's 1 strike away from making it 11. The lefty out of Murray State kicks and deals. Swinging a tapper down the first base line and foul. And Like is very relaxed on game day. Every now and then we'll see pitchers tense before they go out, a little nervous. Ethan Like is palling around like it's any other day.
Yeah, so calm, cool, collected.
The 1-2 pitch, he fires. Fastball misses high and inside to 2-2 count to Narrant.
He had his hoodie on, talking to Larry Westall and myself just over an hour before game time. He's so relaxed, not a worry in the world.
2-2 pitch from Like. Swing and a miss on a bouncing fastball. Narrant doesn't even try to run to first. Rogers picks it up and tags him. Ethan Like strikes out back-to-back batters to retire the side in the 6th inning. 1-2-3 go the Bucs for not the first, not the second, not the third, but the 4th time today. Like retires 11 batters in a row, and the Miners lead 1-0, grabbing the bats again for the 7th. We'll be back in just a moment.
We have reached the 7th inning at Mulcahy Stadium alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. The Miners lead it by a score of 1-0. And for the second time today, the Bucs have a Michael on the mound instead of Michael Sarhat, the starter. It is Michael Nunez. Cameron Crane, the left. He went 1 inning of relief, allowing 2 hits, 1 run, 0 walks, 0 strikeouts. And here comes Nunez out of LMU. Standing at 6'3", the righty that weighs 175 pounds. First pitch to Brandon Rogers, the catcher, blasts one to center field. Shallow. Abear, the shortstop, trickles to the edge of the grass for out number 1. Rogers and Vest are the only 2 batters who have yet to strike out today, but Rogers is now 0 for 2.
Well, Sarhat was so solid with the K's, he struck out 6 batters, and he just really seemed unhittable.
Nunez to the lefty, Tomlin. He half-heartedly shows bunt, pulls back, and it's called a strike on the lower outside corner. Seabass today 0 for 2, a line out to center in the 2nd, and a strikeout in the 5th. The 0-1 pitch, low and in.
Sarhat struck out 7 batters, and like you said, all of them different players. So everyone on this Matsu team has hurt a little bit today.
Absolutely. 3rd time through the order here. Seabass, the 7-hitter. The 1-1 pitch. A big swing and a miss. Tomlin was late on a couple pitches against the starter. Sarhat, as we mentioned, led to that strikeout back in the 5th. Nunez's 1-2 pitch is flared foul off the end of the bat. Nunez has a 3.95 ERA in 8 outings. He faced the Miners last Friday in Palmer, went 2 scoreless innings with a walk and got the save. The 1-2 pitch out of the windup, and Tomlin shoots it foul over the third base side. Still 1-2. Nunez His last outing came 5 days ago in Chugiak. Went 1 inning, allowed just 1 hit, 0 runs, struck out 2, walked 1 batter. That was a 13-2 win, so low pressure for him. The 1-2 here is once again flared up and out of play. So Tomlin has strung together consecutive foul balls with 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out in the top of the 7th. 1-0 game. The pitch, fastball lifted in a left field. Har runs in a few steps and makes a grab to the right of his right ear for out number 2.
The last 3 Mat2 batters have all sent the ball to left field, and 2 of those guys are left-handed, and it shows how Nunez is working on the outer half of the plate.
It absolutely is. He comes from the right side of the rubber facing us. The pitch to Hannes is called a strike right over the belt. Hannes today also 0 for 2, also a strikeout victim to Sarhat back in the 5th when he retired the side in order all the way to the K. Curveball, back of the middle, ground ball. Brown scoops it up, throws on the run, and makes the play to first base. Impressive play from the Crusader. And that retires the side in order. 1, 2, 3 go the Miners, and the Bucs have 4, 5, 6 due up in the bottom half of the 7th. The score, 1-0 Mat2. The inning, the bottom of the 2nd. The broadcasters, Jesse Cook on my left, I'm Austin Barach. And Ethan Lake, back on the hill. The southpaw out of Murray State going strong yet again for Ty LeBrun and this team. And he's set to face 4, 5, 6 in Dante Turgeon, Jackson Sorensen, and Alex Pendergrass. Righty, lefty, righty, due up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch to Turgeon is called a ball outside. Turgeon today is 0 for 2, a fly out to right in the 1st, and a grounder back to Like in the 4th. The 1-0 pitch out of the windup. Same spot, same call. 2-0 the count. The 2-0 misses outside. 3-0 the count. That one was just about an inch more off the plate than the previous 2. Turgeon is around 200 against Mat2 this season, 6 for 29. The 3-0 is flared up and over the Mat2 dugout, 3-1 the count.
There is some action in the Mat2 bullpen. Righty sidearm pitcher Larry Westall is warming up.
Tyler Brunn loves to go to Larry Westall in the bullpen. The 3-1 stings the outside corner. Turgeon already flipped his bat and now has to sheepishly walk back into the right-hand batter's box.
Austin, my perspective is a little skewed off the first base side, but that looked like a strike, and it's been called a strike all game.
Here we go. The full count pitch is battered foul towards that Miners dugout. I believe nobody was hurt.
Went into the Miners dugout. It missed Ty LeBrun by just a couple inches above his head.
Hey, yo, wow.
He ducked and then motioned with his index and thumb fingers showing the distance above his head.
Here we go again. The pitch flared into right field on a line, but caught by Carpenter as he leaned and made the grab over his left shoulder. 1 away in the bottom of the 7th.
The Bucs have struggled so heavily. They're very hit or miss as a team. Either they score a bunch or they don't. In the last 3 games before yesterday, they were outscoring opponents 31-8, but they had only scored a combined 1 run in the 2 games prior to that.
Matsu has certainly done his job stifling this offense, as that one to Sorensen misses alone away. It's a Bucs team that's led the league in slugging, home runs, triples for most of the season, but Matsu is caught up as Likes 1-0 misses lone outside again. Sorensen is 0 for 2, grounded out last time up to second base. 2-0, runs inside, and Like is down in the count, 3 balls to no strikes for the second straight batter. Glove to the face, he's ready to go again. The pitch, here comes, and it darts in for a strike on the inside corner. The Westall's been used almost every game this past week out of the pen. The 3-1 here is lifted out of play. Another full count here for Ethan Like. You got to figure Tyler Brunn really trusts Westall. And perhaps, in every close game, that'll be his guy moving forward. First guy out of the pen. The payoff left upstairs, about 5 inches above the belt. And Sorensen is on first time today with a walk.
Well, that's the first base runner for Anchorage since the 3rd inning. For Ethan Like, just cool off and focus on the next batter.
You're right, he had retired 12 consecutive batters from the 3rd inning to here in the 7th inning. And after Brandon Rogers meets with Like, here comes Tyler Brunn. Like's day is done after entering the 7th inning. He went 6 1/3 innings, allowing just 1 base hit. Another stellar outing out of Ethan Like. And he will depart this game in just a 1-0 score. So Larry Westall comes to the mound. He's got a pressure situation on him, and we'll be back for that in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Matsu 1, Anchorage 0. Still here in the bottom of the 7th inning at Mulcahy Stadium. To my left is Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. Ethan Like is out of the game. He went 6 1/3 innings, allowing 1 hit, 3 walks, striking out 7. The runner in Jackson Sorensen on first base is his responsibility. He gives way to the righty out of Incarnate Ward, the side armor, Larry Westall, who is in for his 15th outing right here of this season. First pitch to the righty Pendergrass is taken lone away, ball 1. Pendergrass was one of the players in yesterday's lineup for Anchorage that did not face Westall. Tyler Brunn told us after the game that was by design. The 1-0 scoots high, ball 2. LeBrun said he didn't want the Bucs to see Westall another time around if he didn't have to. Westall pitched the 7th and 8th innings yesterday, faced 6 batters, retired all 6, and then after Matthews scored 5 more than 9th, gave way to Matthew Lighthall as that one is blooped up. In foul territory, Cooper Vest, the first baseman, makes himself some room and makes the grab for out number 2.
If Westall can continue pitching like he did yesterday, that'll put Ethan Lyke in line for the win. Larry, his 2 innings without a base runner earned him the hold because he entered in a safe situation before Matsu's bats blasted off. But you can't always count on those guys coming through for more than just 1 run. So it's so important for this bullpen to pitch like they're ahead while maintaining that low lead.
So here is the righty Burkhalter, who takes a ball low and in, scoots in the turf, stopped by Rogers. I mean, you're right, it's a lot of deja vu right here. Yesterday at this field, Cannon Daly, the starter, went 6 innings, allowing 1 hits, no runs today, as the 1-0 is framed outside somehow. 2-0 the count to Burkhalter. Today, the starter Ethan Lyke went 6 1/3 innings, allowing 1 hits, no runs. So, really similar stuff. Incredible job out of this starting pitching group. The 2-0 is a swing and a miss. Left early, Burkhalter tilted his head towards the left, and the righty out of the University of Nebraska Omaha has himself in a 2-1 count with 2 outs and a runner on first. The pitch called a strike. Late call, right on the knee level. It's a 2-2 count. Barach, the shortstop, is shading for Burkhalter to pull. Today he's 0 for 2 with a pop out and a strikeout. Again, Anchorage just has 1 hit. The pitch is roped in a deep left field. Vergara on his horse, nearing the warning track. At the warning track, he jumps up and he makes the grab at the wall. For the 2nd straight day, Alex Vergara makes a leaping play at the wall in left field. Anchorage leaves a runner on base. And after 7 innings, it's still 1-0 Matsu. Wow, what a play. We will be back for the 8th inning in just a few moments. Just minutes after Alex Vergara made a game-saving play that might have tied the game. The Matsu Bats are back up with 9-1-2. Barreras, Vest, and Vergara lefty-lefty right up as they face the right-hand thrower Michael Nunez in for his 2nd inning of work. It's the top of the 8th. Matsu up 1-0 alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. First pitch for Nunez runs up and outside, ball 1. Barreras today 0 for 2 with a ground out to 2nd and a strikeout swing back in the 5th. Both of those came against the starter Michael Sarhat, who went 5 full innings. The 1-0 is left outside, 2-0 the count. Sarhat was strong, just 3 hits allowed, 0 runs, struck out 7, allowed just 1 walk. Then Cameron Crane allowed 2 hits on 1 run in the 6th frame as Barreras takes a strike on the latter half of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike to the 9-hitter. Nunez with the glove in front of his chest. Long delivery here. It's smacked foul along the left field line out of play. Barach, a rising sophomore out of GCU, the everyday shortstop for Tyler Burke. Nunez's 2-2 offering. Fastball roped foul on the ground near the Bucs dugout, and it got some reaction from the crowd. From our vantage point, we cannot see the Bucs dugout, but it was in that direction.
Well, we can see that the ball is on the field, so if it went into the stands or hit someone, it had a pretty good ricochet.
The 2-2 is ground ball to short, fielded by Bear, throws on a first base in time for out number 1. We have some clarification on that recent foul ball. It hit Miles Smith, who, folks you might remember, was injured in last Friday's contest against the Miners back in Palmer and has not played since that injury.
Answer: he can't catch a break on the field or off.
So here comes Cooper Vest, leadoff man, has plate appearance number 4 in line right here. Righty deals the lefty, and it's a strike right down the middle. Vest today has been victim to a couple of hard-hit outs, fly out in the first, and a hard line out to center again in the 6th. This time, they're playing a little further back than they did back in the 6th. The pitch runs outside, 1-1 the count. Vest also smoked a single to center field back in the 3rd. So he has himself a 1-for-3 day right here. He began the day batting at a .287 clip, 3rd best on the team. Nunez is 1-1. Is swung and smoked to right center field. This has legs to it at the wall. It one-hops the wall. Vest rounding second base, aiming for 3rd. Can he get there? Yes, he will. Standing up. Cooper Vest has his 6th triple of the season and his 4th against the Bucs. Boy, is he good.
No one hits the ball against the Anchorage Bucs quite like Cooper Vest. This past season, he entered today with a .359 batting average against Anchorage. That was 14 for 39. Well, today that's elevated to 16 for 43. He just crushes it.
So here comes the man who had the triple back in the 6th inning that really changed the complexion of today's game. Alex Vergara, the infield is now in. Matsu up 1-0. The pitch finds the outside corner for strike 1 on a breaking ball. Vergara with that triple in the 6th would later score an RBI single to right field by Caden Carpenter. Now he's here on the right side with a chance to bring in an insurance run in the 8th. Cooper Vest 90 feet away. The 0-1 pitch is left up and outside. 1-1 the count. Long look in for Nunez. Vergara has 4 home runs on the season. The 1-1 is pelted foul on the ground to the left of the 3rd base bag by about 3 feet.
Vest and Vergara have a pretty similar swing philosophy, even though they're on opposite sides of the plate. Both of them generate a lot of torque when they move their hips so far in front of their hands in their swing.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Vergara. The pitch hit to deep right field. Turgeon moves back, nearing the warning track, makes the play feet in front of the track. Vest tags from 3rd base, and he scores. Alex Vergara's sacrifice fly makes it 2-0 in the 8th.
Hey, that's what the top of the order is designed to do. Someone gets on base, someone else brings them around. Vergara has home run power. Again, if he pulls that ball, just like his triple, it's probably gone.
Lancia takes ball 1 up high. So it's now 2-0. That's a big-time insurance run. Lancia today 0 for 3 for the catcher out of UT Rio Grande Valley. The 1-0 catches the top of the zone, 1-1.
Well, you remember yesterday and the day before, Lancia started off each game 0 for 3 before smacking a double in his 4th at-bat.
That's right. He's in jeopardy of losing his 9-game on-base streak. The pitch is flared foul over the right side. 1-2 the count. Nunez resets out of the stretch. Nobody on. 2 outs. The pitch. Smoke to the backstop. Still 1-2.
Mario Bejarano is warming up for Matsu in the bullpen.
Lefty, okay. The 1-2 pitch is left outside. Pendergrass and Brown at third and second base made a movement toward the dugout, thinking it was strike 3, but Nunez back on the bump here. About to fire the 2-2. Here it comes. Swung on and missed. Fastball got him outside. Lancia strikes out for the second time today. But Matsu puts one more run on the board. After a vast triple, Vergara brought him home on a sacrifice fly. After 7.5 innings, it's Matsu 2, Anchorage nothing. We'll be back in a few. Two nothing. The Miners lead it over the Bucs as we enter the bottom half of the 8th inning. To my left is Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. Larry Westall, the sidearm out of Incarnate Word, still going here. About to face 8-9-1 and Zach Thomas, Oliver Brown, and Ben Harr. Righty, and a lefty. The right-hand thrower peers in and fires a strike on the inner half of the plate. Thomas today is 1 for 2, a single and a flyout, and as we've hammered home yesterday and today, he has 3 hits these last 2 games. Everybody else on Anchorage, 0 hits. The 0-1 misses just blown away.
And if you remember the first half of this season, the Bucs seemed like such a fearsome team because their bats produced in such a high quantity. The last couple days, not so much.
The 1-1 slow roller misses blown away. Same spot. Really a borderline pitch, but it's a 2-1 count. Who's got 2 doubles in his last 3 games. Tough to see him making that 3 of the last 4. The 2-1 low, easily low, 3-1 now. Thomas hitting around 370 against Matsu this season. 13 hits in 35 at-bats. The 3-1 is hit towards his own dugout on a pitch that would have been ball 4 low inside. Thomas just wants to keep swinging that bat. It's been good for him in these last few games. Hit safely in 5 of his last 6. The full count is battered foul on the right side. Bejarano has stopped throwing for the moment. See if he continues to warm up soon. Westall's payoff pitch is hit on a rope to right center field. It finds grass. Gets the warning track. Tomlin cuts it off. The center fielder throws all the way to Barreras at second base, but not in time. And Zach Thomas has a stand-up double, his second hit today. And as we mentioned, that's just the second hit for the whole team today.
Well, when you've got a team's number, you've got their number. But that double can spark momentum. It didn't yesterday, but you never know. Mario Bejarano, you said he stopped warming up. Well, I imagine he'll start again if Westall gets into any more trouble.
So here comes the game-tying run at home plate in Oliver Brown, here for his third plate appearance of the entire summer. Westall peers in and throws a strike around the knees. Brown, of course, no extra base hits this season, but did have 3 doubles back at Holy Cross this spring. 3 of his 14 hits went for 2 baggers. The 0-1. Curveball blasted over the third baseman. Caleb Head is into left field down the line. Here comes Thomas. He scores. The ball gets around Vergara. Brown round second base, but he stops right there. Oliver Brown, in his first appearance at the dish this whole summer, has himself an RBI double in the game. He's 2-1.
And guess what? Mario Bejarano has started hurriedly warming up again.
So here comes Steve Hecker and the rest of the infield. That was Brown's third plate appearance of the summer, and his first extra bagger, his first hit, in fact. And it's now a 2-1 game, so the momentum that was once all with Matsu has they've hit the equilibrium here at Mulcahy Stadium. That's just the third hit of the game and the first non-Zach Thomas hit in the last 2 days for the Bucs.
Well, not just last 2 days. They haven't played. Yesterday was their first game since Sunday.
That's right.
So that's almost the first non-Zach Thomas hit of the week.
That is incredible stuff. So here comes the leadoff man, Ben Haar. He is 0 for 2 with a walk back in the third inning. Runner at second base, no outs here, and it's suddenly a 2-1 ball game in the bottom of the 8th. Westall's first pitch to Haar, a swing and a miss, outside and low. Haar was the leadoff man the last time he played against the Miners last Friday in Palmer, but entered today batting under 200. He went 1 for 5 last week and is 0 for 2 today. Westall checks second, fires home. Haar checks his swing. And the third base umpire on the referral calls it a strike. He went around. It's 0-2. This would be a big out for Larry right here. Westall went 2 innings against the Bucs just yesterday. 6 up, 6 down for him a day ago. As allowed as the 0-2 is a swing and a miss. Low inside. Big out right there. 1 away in the 8th. As I was saying, Larry Westall, before today, went 10 1/3 innings in 5 appearances against these Bucs. Allowed 3 earned runs. So that's a 2.61 ERA. For the season, he has a 2.10 ERA. Here he is against the righty Curtis Hebert, 0 for 2, struck out looking his past 2 times, and he checks a swing and pops one foul. That's certainly the sign of an unsure hitter right there. Brown at second, Hebert at the plate. The 0-1 swoops in, but low, called low. Westall, frustrated with that, takes a couple strides off the mound toward second base to reset himself mentally. Certainly a close pitch. Six hits for Matsu, 3 for Anchorage. The 1-1, called a strike at the top of the zone. Larry's back ahead of the count, 1-2. Hebert represents the go-ahead run Has hit 1 homer this season back on July 7th against the Pilots. The 1-2 way outside. 2 into the counts. He's also got 5 doubles and 1 triple. The game-tying run is 180 feet away in Oliver Brown. Westall 2-2. Looked at and misses just low again. It's a full count, another close pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second base. 2-1 game in the bottom of the 8th. Matsu trying to win the season series. The 3-2 swung on, hit to right field. Back goes Carpenter, going toward the track. At the track, he can't get it. It's over his head. Brown at third base, a signal to stop. Abear has a stand-up double. Brown couldn't really move off of second base because of how close it was to being a catch. Carpenter lost track of it, backpedaling in deep right field, and suddenly 2 runners are in scoring position for the Bucs.
Carpenter got a bad jump on that ball, and it was really tough for him to search for it because he's fighting white cloud cover as well.
And now they intentionally walk Joey Narrett. So the bases are loaded. Tyler Brunn has gone with the intentional walk recently. The 4th time it's happened in the last 2 weeks. So here comes the right-hand hitting Dante Turgeon, who is 0 for 3 on the day. Began the day batting .245. He's got 3 home runs, and he's got the bases loaded. The pitch, outside ball 1. Those 3 homers came on June 7th, June 24th, and July 23rd. That last one was on Sunday in Chugiak. The 1-0, big cut and a miss. Strike 1 on the off-speed pitch. Turgeon, 2 flyouts to right field and a chopper back to Like. A deep fly ball right here you figure would tie the game on a sac fly. The pitch, called a strike down the middle, just above the knees around the thigh level. It's 1-2. Bases loaded, 1 out. 2-1 the score in favor of Matsu. The Bucs have already scored 1 here off of Westall in the bottom of the 8th. Looking for more. The pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. Slider on the outside corner, and Turgeon has now struck out 9 of his last 11 games. Big K right there. Westall struck out hard after allowing an RBI double, and now strikes out Turgeon with the bases loaded. Here comes the big lefty, Jackson Sorensen. He's 0 for 2, walked last time out. Base is still juiced. The pitch, low for a ball. Sorensen has 8 extra base hits on the season. 5 of those are doubles. 3 of them are triples. He is not homer. Westall's 1-0. Just blown away, ball 2. Another borderline pitch. This count could be 0-2, could be 1-1, but instead Westall's behind in it. 2 balls to no strikes. The game-tying run is 90 feet away. The go-ahead run is 180 feet away. Westall's 2-0, right down the middle for a strike. Nobody really warming up in that Matsu pen.
Mario Bejarano's waiting at the fence, which means he'll probably come in at the next batter.
Bases juiced, 2 outs, a 2-1, hit him. Sorensen is plunked for the 2nd time this season. Westall hits his 5th batter of the season, and the game is tied at 2-2.
And that's it for Larry.
Tyler Brunn has seen enough. Westall put in another high-pressure situation. Allowed 2 runs here in the 8th. So his day is done. Mario Bejarano trots on the mound, and he's got himself a big-time pressure situation. Bases still loaded with 2 outs. When we return in just a few moments. Don't go away, folks. Big time situation right here. The score is 2-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Larry Westall, his day is done. In comes the lefty out of Central Arizona Community College, Mario Bejarano. He's got a 5.40 ERA, a 2.18 WHIP. This is his 11th appearance of the season, his 5th against the Bucs. And he's set to face the righty Alex Pendergrass. The pitch is roped on the third base line. Backstab, but fumbled by Hannes. He dives, but can't make a play at third base. Everybody is safe, and the Bucs have taken the lead. It's 3-2. It was a hard hit ball by Pendergrass on the first pitch. He saw Hannes tried to go with the backhand, fumbled it, and couldn't make the diving attempt with his glove to third base for the force out. Everyone's safe, and for the first time today, the Bucs have taken the lead.
Sometimes all it takes is one bad frame. That's just rough for Matsu.
So here comes the 9th batter of the inning, catcher Trenton Burkhalter. The pitch to the righty dips low on the breaking ball for ball 1. Burkhalter today is 0 for 3. He crowds the plate like always. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball called a strike, low inside. Burkhalter, 286 on the season, 6 extra base hits, no homers. The 1-1 swung on and fouled over us. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So now you got to start to think, can the Miners tie it up in the top of the 9th? They got Carpenter, Tucker, and Brainerd Rogers due up. 4, 5, and 6. Here comes Bejarano, his 1-2. Curveball got him, swing and miss. Blown inside, that was nasty. Burkhalter strikes out for the 2nd time today, but not after the Bucs score 3 times in the 8th inning and now take the lead. It was all Matsu, and now it's all Anchorage. The Miners have a chance to tie it with Carpenter, Tucker, and Rogers. We'll be back for the 9th in just a few moments. Can the Miners rally here in Anchorage? I'm Austin Barach. To my left is Jesse Cook. The Bucs scored 3 times in the bottom of the 8th and now have a 3-2 lead. Nunez, the right-hand arm out of LMU, is still on for a second inning of work, set to face lefty, righty, and Carpenter, Tucker, and Rogers. Nunez's first pitch out of the windup is a ball high and outside. Carpenter has reached base in his last 2 plate appearances, a walk in the 4th and an RBI single in the 6th. The 1-0, soft dribbler off his foot. And the second baseman, Oliver Brown, is playing, shifting more towards first base in that spot where Carpenter singled back in the 6th. So the Bucs are putting on an abbreviated shift, if you will, trying to get him to pull. The righty throws the lefty, swung on and cracked, foul. 1-2 the count. Carpenter has homered once this season, but it was a long time ago, June 8th against the Pilots. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball swung on, driven high to left center field. Har near it, and Har, the left fielder, makes the grab on the backhand for out number 1.
Man, Matsu was counting down to that 9th inning so hard, and then the Bucs, in the last frame, just pulled out whatever they needed. The important thing now for Matsu is to keep your head level.
So here comes Maddox Haley pinch hitting for Nolan Tucker. And why not with that home run power that we saw 2 days ago? Tucker was 1 for 3 on the day, a single, a strikeout, and a ground out. So here comes Maddox, the rising sophomore out of San Diego State, bats at a 290 clip this season. The righty's first pitch. He takes it for strike 1, high and outside. Maddox has 7 extra base hits, 5 double to triple, and that homer. The 0-1 left blown away on a slider. Haley against the Bucs is batting .300, 10 hits in 30 at-bats, but went 0 for 3 yesterday with a pair of walks. The 1-1 pitch, left just outside, 2-1. He's also got 3 extra base hits against the Bucs, 2 doubles and a triple. So he certainly has the potential to really make a stir here in the top of the 9th. Matsu down 3-2, 1 away. The 2-1 pitch is a huge swing and miss. Haley dropped to a knee. It's a 2-2 count.
Well, Maddox is someone who said he put his hands lower in his swing. Well, that can generate power, but also force pop-ups and swings and misses.
Nunez is ready to go. His 2-2 offering, fastball up and outside, ball 3. It's a full count. Nunez, straight up. His payoff pitch, fastball leans low, and Maddox Haley works a walk. You have to wonder, will he be pinch run for?
Yeah, he will. Alex Thurston is waiting off the bench.
Yes, he will. Thurston, this has been their little routine here, late in innings as of late. Thurston enters the game for Maddox Haley. Thurston, this season, in the stolen base department, is 1 for 3. He was 1 for 1 this past season at Valpo. So here comes Brandon Rogers. On his 21st birthday, he represents the go-ahead run. First pitch is swung on in a high pop-up down the third base line, tailing foul, out of play for strike 1.
Matsu needs some magic, and Braden Rogers has brought it at this stadium before. In the Miners' comeback in mid-June against the Glacier Pilots, the entire rally was started by a Braden Rogers homer.
Matsu would love to see him clobber a homer yet again. Today he's 0 for 2, grounded into a double play back in the 4th. A double play here would end the game. 1 on, 1 out in the top of the 9th. The pitch sails low and outside. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Rogers had 4 extra base hits this season for the Vaqueros in 38 games played. He's got 4 extra baggers this season in the summer. The 1-1 is called a strike, high and outside. Nunez has really worked that high and away part of the zone against right-handed batters. The 1-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. He was late. And Matsu is down to its final out.
Well, it leaves it up to Sebastian Tomerlin, who has struggled mightily against the Bucs all season long. Well, he's had a good last week.
0 for 3 today, 1 for 26 against the Bucs this season. The first pitch is a swing and a miss late on that fastball. Tomlin has sent the ball to the outfield twice today, a line out back in the second and a fly out to left back in the 7th. It's his job to extend this game. He represents the go-ahead run. He's late on another fastball, this time upstairs. He's down to count 0-2. 6 days ago, he hit his first home run of the season in Chugiak. Nunez is 0-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. The Bucs come back in the 8th inning, score 3 runs in that frame, and win it by a score of 3-2. This one stings for Matsu. The Miners could have won the season series and locked up home field advantage for at least the first round of the playoffs. But now the Bucs bring it within half a game of the Miners for first place. The season series is tied up at 5 games apiece. Certainly a deflating feeling for the Matsu Miners right now.
That hurts a lot, and not just because they lost to the Bucs and still have to play for home field advantage, but because they had held Anchorage scoreless for 16 straight innings, and then it all unraveled in one frame. And Larry Westall, who had been so good yesterday and started out so hot, in this game really struggled, which adds more insult to injury. It's the last time these teams will face each other in the regular season. It might be the last time they see each other, but if Matsu can't clinch first place, it's unlikely that the Bucs will either, which means that this could be a first-round matchup.
Absolutely. These two teams, doesn't feel destined that they will meet again in the playoffs. It seems like, 5-5 in the season series, so many highly touted matchups, so many close battles. It just feels that destiny says these two teams will meet again. Obviously, we don't know as of right now. The Bucs play once more on Sunday. The Miners will be back here tomorrow against the Glacier Pilots, and then back here again on Monday against the Glacier Pilots. Matsu now on the season is 21-16. So we will see, but definitely a sour taste in their mouths right now. Ethan Lake went 6 1/3 innings, allowing just 1 base hit, and earns the no decision. Tough one. Matsu starters have gone at least through 6 innings in the last 3 games. Downer full 9 3 days ago. Camden Daly went 6 full innings, allowing just 1 hit yesterday in his win, and Like was spectacular as always today. But the bottom of the 8th was a tough one for Matsu. Baseball. It's baseball. And so these two teams are even in the season series at 5-5.
And with 2 more against Anchorage for Matsu, against the Glacier Pilots for the Miners, they'll come back to Anchorage, come back to Mulcahy Stadium. And now, still, if you win one of those games, you clinch home field advantage. But it's still a sour taste in their mouths because this has been a rivalry all season. And now, if the Miners want first place, they have to win one against the Glacier Pilots. They lead them by a half game in the standings now. They lead the Bucs by a half game in the standings now. Nothing is assured. Matsu desperately needs to win.
That's right. Vergara was awesome today. Couple of great plays in left field. A diving catch in the second, a robbery in the 7th inning at the plate. He singled in the first, tripled in the 6th, scored the game's first run in the 6th inning, had a sacrifice fly in the 8th. That we thought, okay, insurance run 2-0, went from 1-0 2-0. He got Larry West on the bump, but the bottom of the 8th was a tough one for Matsu. Zach Thomas led off with a double. Oliver Brown brought him home with an RBI double. Harr struck out. Then Abear doubled to deep right field, but Brownlee went to third base. Joey Naird was intentionally walked to load the bases. Westall got Turgeon to strike out swinging, but then he plunked Sorensen for Sorensen's RBI hit by pitch that tied the game. And then Pendergrass hit a hard ground ball to third base that Hannes almost made a great play on, but couldn't quite do it. So his infield hit scored the go-ahead run for Burkhalter struck out to end the inning. Tough way for Matsu to lose, but the season is far from over. So final score once again: Anchorage Bucs 3, Matsu Miners 2. With Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach. We will be back at this very spot tomorrow against the Glacier Pilots. Enjoy the rest of your Friday.